Hi. What? Everybody's just looking at me like, okay, start. I don't know what to say. Hi, welcome.
Good start. Welcome to Redvolution Rampage.
Yeah, this is your hottest Carolina hockey podcast.
We thought we'd give Amanda the first go today.
We didn't tell her, apparently.
Well, usually, I mean, you guys usually go through the scores and stuff like that, so I stay a little quiet. So here I am.
No, you have to be both.
No, you're here.
Today.
You're part of us. You should
I know.
I
I can't remember what happened yesterday, much less last week, what the score was.
What did happen yesterday? I don't
Stall, push, skin around.
Oh, that is true.
Oh, that was fun.
Ragdoll.
Whoopsies.
Ferlin being a boss.
Whoopsies.
How about his 500th point?
And he did it on the backhander.
Oh, that's
don't
But
worry.
we will get into all of that and more right after this. We are back. It's been a while because last time we recorded it was February and we were halfway through this surge. You know what we haven't done? We haven't discussed the jerk situation.
Oh,
We are
gosh,
jerks,
it has
though.
been a long time.
We are a bunch of jerks.
I am a proud jerk.
Don Cherry, if I'm allowed to say that, you are a jerk.
No, he's not a jerk. He doesn't get the honor of being
No,
a
he
jerk.
is not a bunch of jerks. He's just a regular jerk.
Just a regular jerk.
Maybe he's a subpar jerk, just a low-level jerk.
I like the way that the Kings just kind of rolled with it. I think that's
They
fantastic.
owned it and they made money off of it.
Money.
Great.
The shirts are still selling like hotcakes.
Right, they are. And we've got like what, about 10,000, a little more than 10,000 sold so far. It's ridiculous.
So
18 countries.
And every single state in the United States has bought one.
Every single province of Canada
Yeah.
and Mexico.
I mean, it's an incredible concept, right? You talked about, I mean, Tom Dundon said something at the beginning of the season, actually really when he took over, right? And he said, if you talked about what his goal was for the Carolina Hurricanes, and he answered with a single word: relevance. I think we're very dang on relevant.
In more ways than one.
being talked about everywhere.
Right, and we're having fun.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're being
And
talked
we're looking
about
good doing
good
it.
or bad. Good
And
or
we're
bad,
looking
being
good
talked
doing it.
Even bad, it's good publicity.
Yeah, that is true. Very, very good publicity. But guess what? I don't care. We're winning, and we're this close. You guys can't see this is a podcast, but my fingers are like really close together. We're this close to the playoffs for the first time in 10 years.
As we're recording right now, Money Puck has us at about a 94.5% chance to make the podcast. Of course, 94.5% chance swings 10% left and right. Maybe not so much right, but to the left as games, happen day in, day out. But the fact that we've only got about 11 games left. Again, as of recording this podcast, 11 games left. We only got that many games left, and that is about... the last time we were this close to making the playoffs with this many points, it was 05-06.
Entirely true. And then you had the heartbreak of the year after that, where we lost a playoff spot on the last day.
Let's not relive that.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. This year with the Canes, we have a buffer already, and we aren't playing from behind. We're playing to gain spots. Right now, I believe we are first in the first wild card spot.
Right, but here's the thing, though. We also have full control over our destiny up until the second spot in the Metro.
Very true, especially with those 2 games against Washington.
So we really have control over who we're playing in that first round when we make it, right? Are we going to be... Because here's the thing. I don't want to play Tampa. I want someone else to play Tampa, and if they knock them out, good. If Tampa knocks them out, then we don't got to see them again until the conference finals.
Well, we still got to play Tampa this week, though.
Right, we got Tampa this week.
We have, by far, one of the toughest down the stretch schedules, period.
This is true.
The
And
5-game
home stretch helps.
The 5-game home stretch helps, but it was also supposed to be a quote-unquote tough schedule as we went into that 5-game road trip last month. And we shut out Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I get
fantastic.
it. We're supposed to be scared of these teams because they're perennial playoff teams, right? Pittsburgh Penguins, Tampa Bay Lightning. Cool. But here's the thing. People should be scared to play us.
Boston is scared to play us. They even admitted that after they beat us in overtime, they admitted that we were a good team and that they wanted to play us in the playoffs because it was going to be a good series. So
At least we didn't have Conor McGregor in the building when he played them.
nah, yeah, we did it. We did it. We
Don't
love
need Marchand strutting around on us.
I love you, Conor McGregor. I hope you kick everybody's butt and get your title back. But come on, we need you to come support somebody that's not Boston.
He's from there. Let him have his cake.
He's not from there.
Is he not?
He's from Ireland.
Oh,
Well,
I mean,
He's
yeah.
he's there because of the Irish population.
Well, there you go. He's got relatives there.
Yeah, but we still got Ric Flair.
Woo!
Okie dokie.
See, even Amanda agrees.
There's
She may not woo, but she agrees. But let's go back to that 5-game homestand that started off with a win, a much-needed win against Buffalo.
Right, that was last night. I think it proves that McElhaney's game against Winnipeg was a fluke.
Oh, absolutely.
And here's the thing: a lot of
You
people
can't hold
complained
that one
about
against
that
them.
game, saying you got to pull McElhaney and bring in Mrazek. It's like, why?
Everybody has
At
an
this
off
point,
day.
we're going to lose. You're
We
not
had a
going to
game
win
the next night. We had a game the next night. We can't
Yeah.
do that.
I mean, you can technically.
Okay,
it's
let's
just,
see
it's
how
not
that-
going to end well.
Let's see how that plays off for Pittsburgh. They pulled Murray last night to put in their backup. Let's see how they play today.
Well, going to find out soon enough here.
Yes.
Again, as of recording this podcast, that game has not yet started.
It starts at 7.
No, it's 7-something right now.
Well, it'll be close, and we'll see. But you guys will know probably before we do.
Oh, actually, it starts at 7:30. So
Yeah.
we're still
Yeah. that's
minutes
true.
away.
Still, St. Louis gave us some help by whooping them butts.
It's true.
But here's the thing. Going back, let's talk about those 5 games in general. The atmosphere of things. Carolina is marketing these 5 games
Hard, and they should.
hard. Not only are the theme nights, which are already massively popular, like Homegrown Series and Hockey is for Everyone night, they're advertising.
It's not Hockey's for
every
Everyone night. It's Pride night.
Pride night.
Well, there's a whole series of hockey.
Right, it is,
Yeah.
and each one has its own.
Right.
I don't want to say flavor because that's not a real term, right?
Yeah.
In this, but
I mean,
its own
like
theme.
There's women's night.
There's a women's night, which
sled
I think
hockey
is
night.
it's a sled hockey night. There's a Pride night, which is here at the podcast we do respect
Everything.
and we do respect and stand by the LGBTQ community. And
Absolutely.
I mean, we have a rainbow stick right there.
well, you're talking about Victor asks.
Yeah.
Hockey is for Everyone Pride tape
Oh, and I will
stick
be
from
in my
last season.
rainbow
Yeah.
wig on Sunday too.
Rainbow. You have rainbow glasses
I
on.
have
Come
rainbow
on.
glasses. I'm all rainbow.
Rainbows.
Wait, she
and
has she has
unicorns.
leprechaun earrings on, and she has a
Hat.
rainbow on her head. Does that mean the gold is literally her head?
You're reaching there, buddy.
Hey, I am observing here, but
Okay.
going back to hockey with these games, I checked tickets. They're going fast, and that's
but
a
you gotta
great
realize
thing.
though. You gotta realize, right? Pittsburgh is always gonna bring in that huge annoying Pittsburgh crowd.
Yes, they're going to bring in
the
their
Raleigh
annoying crowd.
South, the Pittsburgh South crowd.
But here's the thing: Tampa Bay.
It's also
usually-
gonna draw people.
They draw people from the South, but here's the thing: they never really draw well coming to Carolina. They always have some fans, but they're nowhere near on the scale that Pittsburgh is. And then look at the rest.
I mean,
The rest of that.
Okay,
You have
so,
Montreal coming in.
Well, Minnesota and Montreal, they're back to back. There are is it third or fourth? I've lost count. Fourth back to back this month.
We've done good so far.
Okay. Listen, I want to say something. We've always had it kind of rough in that first game of back to backs, right? We still have a winning record in them,
Ah.
but ever since December 31st, again, the beginning of the surge, as I would like to put it, we are undefeated in the second games of back to backs.
Wow, I hadn't really
Impressive.
thought about it that way.
You got to realize it. They're playing on tired legs, maybe, or is it warmed up legs?
Yeah,
Also,
really.
apparently, as per Trip Tracy and John Forson last night, we have the 5th best road record in the NHL.
Really?
Yeah, we're a bunch of road warriors, which translates really good
Playoffs.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
But here we got to get there first, and getting there, we need to secure crucial points. And right now, we got a gap, a little bit of a gap when it comes to the teams that are trying to fight their way back up, and that means basically Montreal. Mm-hmm. And that game versus Montreal
but here's the
is
good
going to be
news.
absolutely huge.
Here's the good news, right? Of the 11 games you got left this season, 7 are at home. It means only 4 on the road.
And one of them on the road is a back-to-back with Washington.
It's home and away. It's not really a back-to-back because there's a day in between. So it's going to be.
But still, those 4 points could
in
actually
Washington.
jump us to second place in the division, basically.
Right, and actually, if things go right, we actually do have a reasonable chance to winning the division. Now, is it?
I mean, look at the
good
rest of the
chance?
teams. Look at the rest of the teams. The Penguins, they are hot or cold, basically. They'll either have a great night or they'll have a really cruddy night. The Islanders are on a downward slide. The Capitals are good, but guess what? They're still within reach, and we have those 2 games. There's 2 games against them. If we beat them both times, I'm going to.
Well, here's
I'm going to go conspiracy theory and say we win the division.
Well, maybe the Islanders have not been playing well. They've been playing 500 hockey over the last 10 games. Now, Capitals have actually been playing a little better than us, but only by 1 point though. They're 8-2-0, while we've been 7-2-1, which is actually the same record over 10 games for the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Yes.
I don't know if we'll catch the Capitals as we're sitting right now. We're 6 points behind them. We've got a game in hand and 2 games left against them. We win those 3 games, we'll be tied with them. We do have the tiebreaker because they have gone to more shootouts than we have. So there's the good news.
Something that usually plagues us, our shootouts are usually never that good. So
right.
It's a good thing we're not going to them.
Because right now, if we win those 3 games, right, the game in hand and the 2 games against Washington, we match Washington every step of the way, we'd be exactly tied, with the tiebreaker being the shootout difference. Because as we're standing right now, Washington is sitting with 42 wins, 23 losses, and 7 overtimes. We have 39 wins, 25 losses, and 7 overtimes. We get those 3 wins that are the difference, and we hand them 2 losses, right? Then we would both be sitting at 42, 25, and 7. The only difference is the row, right? When we would have a 3-game row differential.
Wow, Amanda, he actually did his research this time.
Dang, I'm impressed.
That was great. I mean, you could have literally kept going with that.
No, but seriously, the concept of winning the division, a lot of people don't want to buy it. But it's very, very real. And it's very, very much in our control.
Hey, I'll take another banner in PNC.
And here's the thing. So the Islanders are sitting at the only people we can't technically beat is the Islanders because we don't have any games on hand on them, and the point differential between us and them is 4 points. And because we don't have any games in hand or games against them, we don't control that first that division spot against them, but we do control against Washington. Again, the tiebreakers and everything being in place. We also had the tiebreaker against Pittsburgh because Pittsburgh's gone into more overtimes. The only team we don't have a tiebreaker against if we match them in points is Columbus.
Very true. Very true.
And that's because Columbus actually has more wins than both us and the Penguins.
Well, when we think about it, Columbus has the most to lose in this whole postseason situation because they literally have thrown all their chips in for this postseason. I believe they think they're going to lose both Bobrovsky and Panarin this offseason, possibly to Florida, maybe. But with all the trades, I don't see them being a real threat in the future because they've thrown everything in, and so far, all those trades have not really shown anything.
There's a lot going on, and
one thing with the Islanders, at least our good friend Jillian Fisher doesn't have to keep saying, "Did you know the Islanders are first place in the Metro?"
Yeah.
Seriously.
She's
Wait.
coming.
Speaking of her, she's coming to Raleigh.
she is.
It's going to be so exciting.
That's really
We
exciting.
need to meet her.
I love her content.
Yeah.
We
I
need
really
to
hope
meet
she
her.
listens or at least peeks into our podcast every once in a while.
Hey, we'll add her in the description this time.
I mean, I hope.
Hey,
I hope
hey,
we'll
Jillian.
get a
Let's not
chance-
add her in there. That's
Jillian,
just
if you
weird.
if you hear this,
that's very
Jillian, we want a
stalkery.
picture.
I mean, I don't know if she's gonna have like a place where we can meet her.
She's probably going to
or-
end up at the Section 328. Yeah, the Section 328 tailgate. She'll probably end up there.
Yeah, she probably
Oh,
will.
okay.
I plan on going to that.
I'm going. I don't
That-
care. I don't care if I have to do student rush.
Oh, that's
I'm
that
going.
next Thursday.
That's.
4th.
I believe that's the 4th of April.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's
That,
coming
isn't
before.
that our last home game?
That is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
It is our last home game.
And then our last game.
Oh, well, it's the last home game of the regular season.
yeah.
regular season.
And then we have that one game against Philly, and
Yeah.
at least we don't have a Brian Bickle situation for that game this year.
Yeah. Brian Bickle's awesome. We saw him at the alumni game.
Yeah, he's a great dude, but remember a few years back watching that game,
He stole Skinner's hat trick. I remember that.
well, not only that, he scored that goal in the shootout right off the post, and
Yeah.
oh man, I had the feels. I
It was
had
very
the
emotional.
feels.
Oh,
Yeah. Well, I'm glad he's doing better now. And
Oh, he's doing so much better. He's still
enjoying
a
life.
great. He's still a great positive person in this community. I thought he'd go back to Chicago. Nope, he stuck around.
Yeah. He's good. He seems to be. He travels a lot. It seems. I follow him on Instagram. They seem to be.
So does Eric Cole, but he
Moving
always
around.
comes home.
Yeah.
Lol.
All right. So,
Well, it's been a very, very long time since we've recorded, and a lot has happened.
yeah, a lot has
outside.
happened. You know, we talked about the bunch of jerk situation.
No, we
And
talked about a bunch of jerks. We talked about Canes, but with all the teams in the state, so
Right.
much has happened.
Yeah, I mean, the Thunderbirds are still holding on to that number one spot in the
Not only are they
FHL.
holding on, they clinched overall seed. They are going to win the regular season title.
Yes, they will.
It's ridiculous how good this team is. If they don't win the championship, I will be thoroughly upset. 'Cause
Charlotte's still
they're just
also
that
sitting
good.
in number one.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! They are just that good.
And they've already added Thomas Jerko, which is our trade deadline edition. We haven't really talked about the trade deadline.
Jerko. We kind of did nothing.
We did something. And I think it was very
We held
important.
on to Furland.
So it was very important. Is that by doing nothing, we kept the chemistry. Because look what happened to Columbus. Columbus made a ton of moves, and they're not doing well very much. We made one move, and I think was critical, right? Which was moving Cliff Pooh to Florida for future considerations, and then bringing in Thomas Jerko for future considerations.
And he's paid off. He is paid off.
Right, Thomas Jerko's right. But you gotta realize Thomas Jerko is a lot more experienced, and he's older, and he's got NHL experience compared to Cliff Pooh. He's a more of a fair trade for Skinner, and that's really what Don Waddell is trying to do. He's just trying to distance himself from the Skinner trade, and I can't blame him because he wasn't in control of that Skinner trade. We discussed this already, and Jeff Skinner really just trying to get closer to home. And hey, that team is the team that had the number one draft pick, had a good chance. He got one of the coaches from Carolina, moved up there as well.
Yeah,
hasn't paid off for him.
Oh, it has not paid off. I mean, we beat them every game this year, and for the past 9,
It's
Buck
true.
Buffalo, Buck Buffalo. Gotta keep it PG.
It's PG. But honestly, I think we got to reconsider all these trades and everything. A lot of people take everything for face value. There's so many movements and everything behind because Don Waddell's more than earned our trust back. Thanks to...
Now we can see what he
Nino
does
Niederreiter.
this offseason.
It's true.
He has cap space. He has things to work with.
Well, he's got to pay Aho, though.
He has to re-sign Aho.
He's got to pay Aho, number one. And honestly...
If we lose Furland, I will be upset, but he has options to work with.
He does. And that's the thing. He does. And he's got a lot of talent down in the AHL that is starting to blossom, right? And he brought a lot of it this season. And you're talking about guys...
Walmart, Saku,
Yeah.
Greg
McKegg, Fogel. Now, I granted Valentin Zikov didn't pay off.
Fleury the last few games because Calvin DeHaan's been hurt. He's been paying off.
Right, Calvin DeHaan again. So Calvin DeHaan took that stick to the face.
No penalty, no suspension. What
Yeah,
the
I
hell?
don't
It can be
understand
argued. It can be argued that it was in the forward motion of your stick as he's taking the shot. But you're supposed to control that stick. It's your stick.
Yeah, but
I mean, I've seen penalties for worse, though.
It's true.
I mean, for less. Sorry, I've seen penalties.
Either way, it
for
works.
worse too.
Yeah, for worse too. Yeah.
Either way, it could go either way.
Yeah.
But
I would have
honestly-
said a lot.
Honestly,
of
the thing is, I would like to see the league go into more full windshield visors, kind of like what Justin Williams had after his puck to the face from Brett Pesci. That apparently his brother Bradley taught him to do.
They require that in college. You can't have the half visor. You have to have the full visor.
But it's not glass because it's just cage.
No, you have the choice.
Oh.
You have the choice to go either way.
I like that. I like the windshield visor thing.
Yeah.
It looks futuristic and cool.
Well, and PK, his is longer. Also, it comes down
Right,
to like
yes.
his nose.
As long as it
it's
doesn't
just
fog up.
personal preference, but I think safety wise, it's
Well,
just smarter.
you can at the lower levels just put slits in it, and then it won't fog up on you.
Well,
Yeah.
I agree with you, Amanda. It's for safety. How many times have we seen a video on YouTube of pucks just getting lodged in that gap between the player's face and the
and then
visor?
sticks going up under the visor. What was the point of the visor?
And look, I know some people are going to be like, yeah, but what are you doing? These players are supposed to be tough. You're making the sport weak. And it's like, excuse me, I want you to see you go out there and take a puck to the face and then come back and tell me how tough you are.
Yeah.
Or one to the shin and try to walk.
Ugh. That's why I like shin guards.
Like getting kicked in the shins hard enough walking, but taking a puck going at 90 miles an hour? Oh, heck no.
These pucks and these sticks are going at faster speeds than ever before. Have you ever sat down and took in a full game from the 1930s, 1940s? They're moving slow, and that was the speed of the sport back then.
And then you look at a slap shot from Zdeno Chara.
I mean, take all that aside, right? I'm talking about just the average speed of the game. You remember the equipment they had back then didn't really allow for a heavy slap shot. They were, you do that with one of those sticks from 1930s, 1940s, and that twig will snap.
Yeah.
Plus, back then they had no helmets whatsoever, so...
No, you're talking about...
I would not want to play hockey with no helmets. I'm sorry.
Well, and then they went into those little rubber helmets, and then it got weird for a second there. I mean, goalies were playing with no helmet, no face masks and everything. They had no teeth and
Right.
so many gashes on their faces.
Well, we still got a lot of players with no teeth.
It's true, but it's getting better, right?
It's getting better.
It is getting a lot better. Like all these kids, like McDavid still has all his teeth.
Thanks to the miracle of modern dentistry.
Science.
She blinded me with science.
I knew that was coming.
We won't do any more because we'll get copyright claims.
All right. So, anyways, Calvin Hunt, I don't think we're going to see until the first rounds. But that's just me. I'm saying that because we want him. Stay healthy. He's been a huge part, right? It's obvious already how much you're missing him in that blue line. And whoever he's paired with, he picks them up immensely. If he's paired with TVR, if he's paired with Justin Falk, if he's paired with whoever, he's been picking them up.
And Hayden's been doing at least a decent job.
Hayden needs to get his first goal out of the way. As soon as he scores that first goal of his NHL career, he's going to be like an amazing defenseman. He's going to turn into Slavin 2.0. He just needs to get that first goal out of the way because I think he's way too occupied trying to get it out of the way. And the longer it takes, the worse it's going to hurt him.
Honestly, I don't care if he scores. I want to see him become a solid defender and then worry about scoring later.
But
he's
still a kid, though. He's still young.
Yeah,
he
I would
wants to score.
I would-
He wants to get it out of the way. And that's the thing, right? Once you get that first goal out of the way, your brain is allowed to relax a bit.
I mean, honestly, I would like to see him be another Glenn Wesley, where he scores once in a blue moon, but he's a everyday solid defender, and he'll get assists all day, but he just doesn't score.
Right, and he will become that.
Maybe he'll get a little more firepower.
Maybe we'll see. He's still filling
get
up.
them
He's
push-ups.
still filling in. He's still getting older. He's still filling in. And you're 18, 19 years old. You got one body, and
just get him
you
in
get
the
to
gym.
26, 27. Your metabolism slows down a little bit, and you get you fill your body in a little bit more.
Just get him in the gym with Rob Brendamore. That dude is a beast in the gym. Come on.
Rob Brendamore and his super assistant, Billy.
Billy.
Billy gave us a talk when I went to the women's hockey night thing.
Yeah, tell us more about that.
It was fun. it was really fun. What was it? Hockey for women or something? But they just kind of, it started out with like some light refreshments and wine, and then we went in and talked to Shane Willis and Rod Brendamore's wife. I'm so sorry. I'm horrible at first names.
Ashley?
I don't know.
I thought Ashley was McElhaney's wife.
I know that's McElhaney's wife's name, but anyway.
Trivia of the day.
Amy?
What is Brendamore's
Is it
wife's
Amy?
name?
I think it's Amy. Anyway.
Probably is
and
Amy.
that was
He's probably listening to this
fun.
podcast and I was like, you
I'm so bad with names. I'm so sorry. It was so much fun to talk to her. But and then we went and we skated on the we didn't skate on it. We did slap shots and stuff on the ice with Shane and Emil. And then we went to the weight room. And Billy gave us a talk of, what they do, how they train, and why they do certain things. So it was very, very interesting, very enlightening. Oh, and Mike Maniscalco, took us up into the high level, like the 5th floor or whatever, and to the press rooms and stuff.
Where we aim to be one day. Yeah.
But it was neat.
That
it
is
was
the
very
ultimate goal,
informative.
people. The ultimate goal. Get Revolution Rampage into press row.
Yeah. So it was good. It was good. I highly recommend it. Even if you've done it before. This was my 2nd year, but they added on other stuff. So it was very good. You should try it.
Yeah. There's a lot of things going on with the Canes, with the Charlotte Checkers, even with the Marksmen. They're doing a lot of promotions. What was it, Omar? They just released a new military jersey.
I mean, they've had them. Oh, you're talking about their real third jerseys that do for Marksman, who, by the way, have clinched. And
Yeah,
going to
they
the playoffs.
they clinched.
I was just
What
about
are
to
they
say, didn't
did?
something big happen with Markman late?
So they're
recently?
releasing their official third jerseys, which is a OD green, which is military green, with an alternate logo, which is the Marksman Fox on a 3 stripes, which is the rank of sergeant, on the center of their jerseys, honoring the military. Because of course they're in Fayetteville, which is right outside Fort Bragg. And
See, this is why we have military people here, because these civilians, me and Amanda, have no idea what that is.
Oh, come on, everyone can tell you
cool.
what the rank of
That's cool.
sergeant is. If you watch enough Band of Brothers.
Yeah.
Band of Brothers. This is a great show.
It's a special, but okay.
It's still a
It's
show.
a mini series.
Still a show.
Okay.
Watch it, people.
I
It's
don't
really
know if I've
good.
seen it.
I think that brings us to kind of our next little segment here.
Oh, wait. Before we...
mail.
Oh,
Ooh.
whoa.
Oh.
What's that?
Bringing out the old school.
Are we doing AOL.com?
So we pushed out to a lot of people. We asked them to bring in their questions and comments. You might have seen us on Instagram or Facebook or most likely Twitter.
I mean, we have a growing presence on all of them, so...
Yeah. So again, if you're subscribing to us, hey, go give us a like on Facebook. Go give us a follow on Twitter, a follow on Instagram. Wherever you see us, wherever you find us, we're everywhere there. We know where you... No, I'm kidding.
They know where we are. We post it all the time. I mean, if we go to a game, we literally post where we're at.
Right. So, and we asked people... What was the question we asked?
Let me see. Why do I have a Bugsy Moran accent? I don't know. I'm trying to be a gangsta.
All right, so we asked, where do you think the Canes will end their season when it comes to playoff positioning? 3rd in the Metro, higher, lower. Maybe they'll miss the playoffs, right? So we got a couple of answers there, and some other people brought in their questions. So Aiden, which is at AidenNix00, said they think they're going to finish 1st in the Metro with a little, very big smiley face.
It's possible. It is very possible.
We agree. So Buzz Mongold at Buzz Mongold, he thinks that we're going to finish with the number 1 wild card.
I would go with that.
You think you're going to... I think we're going to finish 3rd.
It depends on if we win that game versus Pittsburgh and how those
Yeah.
2 games versus Washington turn out.
Yeah, I think we're going to finish 3rd in the Metro.
Okay.
And our first round opponent will be the Islanders, which will make a very interesting series. And, of course, we're going to get a lot of Islander fans in our house. Oh, good.
Here's my question, though. Where would they hold it? Would it
Hold
be
what?
at Nassau or will it be at Brooklyn?
I think the first round is going to be at Nassau, then every round after that's going to be at the Berkeley.
So we're expecting a sellout crowd of 13,000 and then a nobody crowd of 11.
No, that's terrible.
Who's 11?
The Brooklyn.
Oh, well, it's no. When I say first game, I mean the first rounds. So if they make it past us,
No, that's what I'm saying.
Then-
That's what I'm saying. If we get them in the first round, we can expect a sellout of like 13,000. And then if we get them in Brooklyn the next round, it's a nobody crowd.
They're not going to make it to the next round because we're going to kick their ass in the first round.
I'm saying if we don't play them and they play somebody else
If they play somebody else, then we
and get lucky because they're on a downslope. So.
right. They'll either play Washington or the Penguins, and I don't think they're going to make it past either of those teams.
We'll see. Weirder things have happened in the playoffs.
It's true. Okay, so we got a couple of questions. Not so many people answered. So let's go from the top here, right? Buzz Mongol. After he said his statement, he said, "What do you do with the goaltending situation next year? Do you bring both goalies back? If you do, how many years and how much money do you offer?"
Ooh. First of all, you got to pay Mrazek. You have
got
to.
to bring back Mrazek, right? The Mrazzle Dazzle, he uplifts
all
all the other goaltenders around him. That's number one.
The poke check.
Right.
How many nicknames have the Caniacs come up with him now?
Several.
After what was it, the Florida game? They've came up with like so many.
Did you see the tweet that Wendy put out where somebody had asked her, who's your main goalie? And she was like, well, you don't really have one. They just kind of, put it back and forth. And they're like, well, how do you decide? And she goes, Brenda Moore uses a magic 8-ball. Like, dang. That was pretty good.
Will I use Mrazek today?
Right.
No, I think Brenda
Try
Moore's
again later.
making good decisions with the goaltenders based upon their history with the teams and stuff. Like he's always been playing Mrazek against Nashville. Mrazek's murdered Nashville every single time. Stuff like that. I say we definitely do bring back the Mrazzle Dazzle. I say we bring him back in a nice 3-year deal with maybe about the same amount of money we're paying him this year, maybe a little bit more. But nothing crazier than that. He's going to be a stopgap really for Ned and Booth when they come up. I would love to bring back Chris McElhinney, but
I would sign him to a 1 year. If we bring him back, bring him in that
Ned
1
is
year.
ready. Ned is ready, and we're not going to hold up Ned's spot. Mrazek definitely needs to stay here. He's a lot younger, and he can bring that number one power of number one to that spot. Delkovich can be that not journeyman, but that
number
two. He learns from Mrazek, and they both have a very similar style of goaltending.
And we have possibly one of the best goalie coaches in the NHL.
Right. And I would like to see Peter Mrazek kind of fill in a assistant goalie coach role behind Bales.
We'll see where things go. I mean, I would love to see Mrazek stay. Not only as a player.
Did I say Mrazek? I meant McElhinney. I want McElhinney to
I would like
be
McElhinney to stay.
I would like McElhinney. I don't want him eating up a spot for Ned.
Will things go one way or the other? It's all up to Waddell. It's all to Waddell. We can make as many theories as we want. It's all up to Don. He actually told us that he hears these theories. Like, he listens to podcasts and hears all these fans saying stuff.
Right.
But it's up to him, and we have to react to what he eventually does.
But this is us saying if we were GM for a day and we were asked to make these decisions, what we would do.
Oh, if I was GM for a day, I would make tickets very cheap for a day.
That's not a GM's job. That's kind of the owner's job. But anyways,
oh, come on, that would fill the place. Make it a free. Make the last home game of the year free.
Oh, people would be mad about that. Like,
yeah, us season ticket holders for one.
Right. But
that's my only concern as far as playoffs go is my bank account, because I have it set up to where I'll pay per game, like as throughout the payoffs.
Will they still do the rush with the playoffs? Would they still do that?
I don't know. I'd like to see them do the rush because
cheap tickets.
Well, that's how I go to games.
Military boy.
Oh, but yeah, I saw the total.
It's all a question. It's all a big question of
if they do the rush, it'll be a little bit more expensive. It won't be that cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah, like students upper deck. The student one is $20.
I think it'd go up 25.
25-30, basically.
I
Yeah.
think it would go up higher
Well,
than
not-
that for playoffs.
For the
I don't
student
know.
rush,
Depends.
though, they're
It
always
might keep
considerably
going
cheaper.
bigger as the rounds go
Right,
by.
exactly.
But at
yeah.
least for the first
Like,
round,
if-
I could see going up 10.
If they make the Stanley Cup final, that $30 could go easily up to $80.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was our first question. Honestly, I would personally say keep Mrazek. Ask McElhinney to stay on as a coaching position, or at least a staff position,
And then go to Ned.
and then bring in Ned, because Ned's more than ready. He's won his one game that he played up here. Again, what do you do with Scott Darling? I say you buy him out. Tell him get help. He's already getting the help he needs. He needs to continue take care of himself.
Well, moving on to Brady Austin at _Brady Austin. He says, how deep of a run can the Canes legitimately make? For his first question. Well, according to the statistics, pretty far.
Right, we mentioned earlier that they have like around a 7.8% chance to
Especially
win
with
it all.
especially with the way the current system is designed, where you play a lot of your division opponents in the first couple rounds.
We already know that what the playoff is going to look like, right? Because your Tampa Bay is going to play the second wild card, which is not going to be us, hopefully, right? Let's say we finish wild card number 1, we're going to end up playing Washington. I think we can take Washington, and then the Islanders and Pittsburgh will probably knock each other off a bit, right? And it'd probably be Pittsburgh coming out of that one. So then it will be us versus Pittsburgh. This is where things get a little hairy before us making to the conference final. The conference final is most likely going to be Tampa Bay waiting for us over there.
Honestly, the only other team I see getting out of the other side of the bracket would be Boston. The only team that I could see.
Right, so we'd end up
beating them.
playing Tampa Bay or Boston. I would rather play Boston.
I think everybody in the Metropolitan Division would rather play Boston.
Right, and if it's Boston who's waiting for us over there, because here's the thing, I think Tampa Bay is going to skate a little bit, specifically right after we play them. They're going to skate into and then it's going to hurt them. And then again, we probably won't see Tampa Bay until the conference final. I think we could take them. I think, honestly, we can make a really deep run. A true Cinderella story, just like 2006.
CardiacCanes.com. But the other question that Brady asked was, who should our main goalie be for the playoffs and down the stretch? And honestly, I like what we're doing now.
Right, a lot of people are thinking, well, you got to have a number 1. You got to have a number. Why? Why not look at your opponent? Look at okay, how much time is it since they've played? How much time is it since we've played? Who's got the rest, right? Because McElhinney needs a little bit more rest from Mrazek. How's our team doing, right? McElhinney's more of a turn people on fire, light them up, let's go kind of goaltender. Where Curtis McElhinney is that stone cold, like, I will stonewall you and you will not get past me. You will not pass kind of goaltender,
Yeah.
right? They're the tail of ice and fire, right? Your
Man,
saga of
I
ice
thought
and
you were going
fire.
somewhere else with that. I thought you were going to say he's like Stone Cold Steve Austin. Give me a hell yeah.
He really isn't, though.
Yeah, come on. It was 3:16 yesterday. You got to give it something.
Yeah, but it isn't today.
You're right. It's St. Patrick's Day. Da-da-dee.
Did That's cute.
Okay.
Got to do something. They can't see that we're wearing green.
We are all wearing greens at some level. I'm wearing my Whalers hat.
I got an Irish hat.
Which
It's
is
green.
Played green, I guess.
And
Oh, I'm decked.
Oh, she's decked in the green. Deck the
got-
halls with green.
I got
and
a green
La, la,
shirt
la,
with a
la,
shamrock
la, la.
on it. I've got
The
a
weird
green
thing is-
headband. I've got leprechaun earrings, and my socks have. Look, you know what? You can't look like me and not celebrate this holiday.
true.
It's
She
kind
is
of
the
made
redhead.
for me.
well, the weird thing is,
I come from that
Amanda
long line
has
of
this
Irish
tea.
Jews.
The weird thing is, you have this tea over there, and then before it, you were just sipping it, and we were like Kermit the Frog.
All right, so we got one question we kind of skipped over, right? Who is the overall MVP of our season?
Oh.
So here's a really important question. You know what? I'm going to defer to Amanda.
Huh?
Who's the MVP? Who do you think?
MVP of this year? Man, I would go with one of the goalies because they've been knocking it out. But I can't decide which one.
I got my decision who our MVP is.
You go ahead. I gotta think.
Justin Williams.
Oh, yeah.
Easily,
Good
without
point.
him,
Good point.
this family, this team, and everything that we've built, this camaraderie, the storm surge, everything that these kids are playing for doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Ever since he got that C, he's earned that C and more. He's used that C properly, and it's not just been a, hey, I happen to be the guy who scores the most, give me a letter. It's a, hey, I'm the guy who could take this team, make it a real team, mesh it together, take a bunch of weirdos, and make them real family, right? You got guys like Dougie Hamilton coming in and hugging Jordan Stahl. Are you kidding me? Who hugs Jordan Stahl? That man can scowl you to death. But it's Dougie, and that's what he does.
Dougie has a great personality.
He's taking guys like
there's a list
like
of
Fogel and
there's
his
a
monkey
list
off
of
the
people.
back, right? And his little celebration. He's the one who's thought about the storm surge, and he's the one who took everything and ran with it so hard and so far. And as a fan base, we've connected so much with this team. We know every in and out, really, of this team, like better than some of our family members.
Yeah.
And Williams had a huge part in that. And I think, you're absolutely right. I would go with that.
He's led from the front.
Williams, if you ever need a campaign manager for anything, we got your guy right here. It's Omar. I agree with you, but I'm for variety's sake, I'm gonna go with somebody different. I say Tavo.
Turbo. Okay, why?
Yeah.
He's had such a good year. Not only scoring goals off the ice, he's been a great personality, helping out some of the younger guys develop. He's really been helping out Aho, and that contract that he got halfway through the year, that contract extension is deserving
VIP,
of it.
He becomes the MVP for last season. He hasn't really been playing with Aho this year.
Doesn't matter if he's playing with them. He's been teaching him. He's that veteran presence.
Okay. Yeah, I like that.
Like, Justin Williams is that veteran presence, but for all of last year, Sebastian pretty much was with Tavo. And almost, if you go to practice and watch, Aho's almost always next to Tavo talking.
It's true.
Well, he speaks his language.
Yeah, there's a good point. There's a good point.
They're both good Finnish boys. And add Saku Manalainen to that list as well. I think Saku, the madman Manalainen,
the Finnish twin, the Finnish friend.
And poor Aho, when he gets interviewed, English is still a struggle.
But he's such a warrior about it.
Yeah.
I mean, if you listen to Alexander Ovechkin do an English interview, he still has that extremely strong accent.
Yeah.
This is true. All right, so let's. We're running deep into time here.
One more question.
I say. Okay, then one more serious question, and then we're gonna go into something else. So okay, this is from Instagram, right?
Instagram.
And I think
Take a selfie.
Yeah.
it's Aiden.nix1. I wonder if this is the same Aiden as Aiden Nix00 who said that they're going to be first in the Metro. So anyway, so Aiden.nix1 on Instagram says, how do you feel about Fogel, McKegg, Walmart, and Saku rotating in and out as extra healthies?
Did he put Ferland in that list?
He put Fogel, McKegg, William, and Saku.
Honestly, I don't think McKegg should ever be in healthy scratch at this point.
No, I think because it's given us so much.
I say the healthy scratches are either Manalainen or I wouldn't even say Fogel at this point.
I would say McGinn.
I would say McGinn maybe, but he just meshes so well on that third line.
They all mesh very well, and you can really pull them out for one game.
And that's
a
huge advantage for us. Is we can honestly we can say that we have four lines that work together.
We have four full real lines. I can't believe there's someone on Twitter who said the Carolina Hurricanes are just a lucky team that has with a single line. And I'm just like, excuse
we have four.
me? A single line? I mean, you take our top 10 scorers, and our top 3 scorers are all on separate lines. Our 7th best scorer is a defenseman. Hi, Dougie.
Yes, we know you can score, Dougie.
And if you take it all together, it's like we've got good scores for everything. We're about to have so many 20-goal scorers this season. Andrei Svechnikov's knocking on the door. He's at 18 so far. And and he's been a power presence. He's not afraid to use the body.
Do you
And
think
all
he
these-
makes it at the end of next week? Do you think he gets those 2 goals?
I think he's ramping up. I think he gets 3 goals before the week is over.
Ooh,
What do you
give it
think?
to him.
What do you
Hey,
think, Amanda?
Go for it. Yeah.
I say we see a lot more Svech, especially since he's still playing on that line with Jordan Stahl and Teuvo Teravainen. And you said it, Teuvo Teravainen's veteran presence. You add Jordan Stahl in there to win those pucks.
And we're not just saying this because there's a signed Snetchikov poster over there. We're not just saying that because he might be listening. He might be listening.
I'm saying that he's really ramping it up lately. If there was anyone that was going to score on Bobrovsky that bad game against Columbus, it was going to be Andrei Svechnikov.
We need to write an angry letter to the goalpost of Columbus.
And all the goalposts, because
just that
on behalf of McGinn usually.
Yeah.
But especially that one, especially at Columbus, we hit the post 6 times. 6 times.
Yeah, it was a matter of puck luck that day.
All right. Final question, and it comes from our friends from Music City Gold.
So Music City Gold,
they actually like us.
Yeah, they do. I mean, they're the Nashville Predators podcast.
One of the many, but we have very fun banter with them on social media. They usually involve gifts of some kind.
Yeah, they're from their Penalty Box Radio.
We're good buds with them.
Yeah, they're cool. I usually,
have I known that?
Nashville is our,
and it
is
plays
our
into
weird
the question.
cousin.
It plays into
Yeah.
their question. Who is your favorite opposing team podcast? Well, isn't that kind of self-boasting, you guys? Of course, it's you.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Matchsticks and Flame from.
No.
I'm kidding.
No.
I mean, if I had known that, I would have tried to meet up with them when I was there. I don't know.
Next time.
Next time.
Yeah.
We'll go there and have a lot more beer.
Yeah. So hit us up, guys.
Music City Gold, we like you guys. Maybe
If we see you guys in the playoff
Dual
finals,
episode.
Stanley Cup finals, let's do some fun stuff. Anyways,
or that outdoor game, we'll do some fun stuff eventually.
Coyotes are in the playoff spot.
Ooh. Oh, yeah, we had that on Twitter the other day. That is actually possible at this point for the Canes and the Coyotes to play in the finals.
Imagine Canada's response.
Imagine Canada's response if they have so many teams make the playoffs and they still don't get a cup.
I mean, Montreal might not make it. I mean, who's going to make it from Canada? Winnipeg? Okay.
Toronto.
Okay. Who else? I'll wait. Calgary? Okay.
Calgary. But we don't like mentioning them.
Oh, wait.
Ottawa's awful.
Yep.
Vancouver, awful.
The Ottawa, I think the Ottawa Senators should be renamed the Ottawa Titanic because they're always at the bottom of the Atlantic.
Because they're always tanking. But here's the thing that I can still not understand. How the heck is
stung.
Edmonton still in the playoff hunt? How?
I don't know.
Bazinga.
The power McDavid. I saw a great tweet, and I can't remember who tweeted it, but credit to that person. They said McDavid probably ran into a genie when he was a kid, and he told that genie to make him the greatest hockey player in the world, but that genie's the kind of douchebag genie who messes everything up because you weren't specific enough.
So Will Smith.
Maybe.
We'll find out. Have you seen the trailer for Aladdin? Will Smith looks amazing in that.
Yeah, but you got to remember in the trailer that he had to be like, you got to be very specific.
I mean, I could make you a prince.
Prince in the background.
right. Yeah.
All right, so I think we're cleared here.
Well, we got a few more. We got a few announcements to go out. First of all, shout out to the North Carolina State men's hockey team. They are going to the ACHA D2 Men's National Championships in Frisco, Texas. I believe it's next week.
Yeah, it is.
And they start pool play, and we'll see where it goes. These guys, it's the first time they've ever made it to nationals.
They're really good.
They made the Hurricanes helped them out.
Hockey teams from Carolina. And what's great about this team is that a lot of them are from Carolina.
Yeah, a lot of them are from Carolina, and these guys, they don't get scholarships. They're there for the love of the game and to play with their friends. And look what happened. They got the Hurricanes to do a fundraiser for them the other night, as well as a couple other things. And they raised over $35,000 for this trip alone. Mm-hmm. Imagine what it'd be like if the entire Hurricanes fan base could get behind this team to say, actually make them an NCAA team.
We'll see how this all goes.
But that's not the only announcement we have that's semi-Hurricanes related. Amanda.
Yeah, I was looking for it because that reminded me of the lady Hurricanes.
Right, the under 12?
going to the. Well, no, the adult one.
The adult one, okay.
Yeah, they're going to the championship.
Yeah, and they raised like $5,000 or something like that. We helped.
Great.
We put in some money to help them out.
We sure did. And I was looking for it, but my internet's
so
not
much
working.
love for hockey here.
And Canada says we don't deserve a team.
There's so much talent here.
And we will say this until the day it happens. Tom Dundon, give us an NWHL team.
Well, they've got so much drama with the NHL and the.
I know, but
NWHL
we're gonna say
and the
we're gonna say it
CWHL.
every episode until it happens.
Well, they're going to national in 3 weeks.
Thank you. Yeah.
We're going to do it every episode until it happens. So we'll see.
So the 19 under girls, they won the 19 under tier 2 championships,
Right.
and the U14 girls, I think they also won their championships.
Yeah, and it's the Carolina Lady Hurricanes. They're going to the Nationals, and they were raising some money, and they did a good job. And I think the
We'll see how
amount
they do.
of hockey talent in North Carolina is just amazing, and I just
Where does hockey talent is?
I
Well,
root for you.
didn't we have
Yes.
a person from Raleigh make it to the NHL not too long ago? I think it
He's
was
drafted. He's drafted by the Colorado Avalanche. He's still yet to play for them. He's drafted by them. I can't remember off the top.
Yeah,
of my
because
head
I
who
remember
it is.
I remember Trip Tracy and them mentioning it. No,
It was John Forsland who mentioned it during the draft party.
yeah, and then at the Columbus game, they mentioned the Ohio State goalie who was from Cary, and that was another big addition to the North Carolina hockey family. We'll see. He should be drafted, so we'll see where he ends up.
Yeah.
Right.
All right.
And we've got 2 women from North Carolina in the NWHL too.
Yay.
We've got Alyssa Gallardi
Hey,
on the
speaking
Pride.
of the NWHL, how did
Yeah.
the Cup finals go?
Okay, so yeah, officially as of today, I watched it on the way here.
Hey,
The,
that's dangerous. You should be driving.
Oh, well, I didn't watch it. Okay, I listened.
We caught you, Amanda.
No, I listened. The Minnesota Whitecaps have won the Isabel Cup.
Yay!
So, which is pretty neat because it's their inaugural year. They just joined the NWHL this season.
Who is Isabel? I think a lot of people don't know the
Isabel
historical
is
relevance of that.
Stanley's daughter. So
Neat.
that's why they named the Isabel Cup the Isabel.
I kind of find it cool that the trophy also kind of has a similar shape too.
Yeah, and it used to have handles, but someone broke it off. And they just kind of left them off.
What is with it with trophy destroying in American sports?
They just kind of left it
It's
off.
tradition.
Don't even start with that. We broke the
Tradition.
Stanley Cup as is tradition.
Yeah. So
I mean, the Hurricanes did actually do that when they won the Stanley Cup.
Well, there's
so-
3 of them for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
10. Is it 3 now? I thought it was 4 because one
Oh, we
they
broke
filled up
one.
another one.
Oh, we broke one.
I thought it was 4 now because they filled
No,
up
they don't
another.
fill out. They just remove the tabs and they add new ones to it.
All right.
So this is how it went. On the 7th of March, the Whale and the Riveters played for the play-in. Since there's 5 teams now, they had to do one play-in.
Which is a wild card.
Basically.
Yeah. So the Riveters won that 5-2.
Yay.
Then,
So it's kind of like a baseball 1-game wild card.
basically, I guess.
Okay.
I don't know anything about baseball, so I guess so.
It is. Unless they play 7 games, it's a 1 game.
Yeah.
one
So
done.
the 9th, Boston Pride and the Buttes played for the first round, and that came out to a Buttes win 4-0. And then so that made it so that the Rivers had to go to Minnesota and play the Whitecaps, and the Whitecaps won that. I'm sorry, I don't remember the score. I don't have that written down. I should have.
They won.
They won.
That's
They
the
won.
score.
That's all that matters. They won.
Yeah. So that made it so that the final was the Buttes and the Whitecaps.
And it had a pretty good following on Twitter. When I checked, it had like what?
It was up to 2,000 viewers today. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, it had a pretty good amount of watchers at the time. 2,000 isn't that bad for the time that it went on. Mm-hmm. I mean, it kind of had that weird time slot on a Sunday, so I feel like if they just did it at night, it would have done better, but it would have interfered with college basketball. So
No, maybe. I don't know.
I
But you
would've- I
also
would've
got to
liked it
think
to see
about
on a
it's
Saturday.
Sunday, and there's a lot of travel involved, and people have to get back to jobs on Monday, and
I would have liked it to be like prime time
So-
on a Saturday, just to see how big of an audience they would get.
I would like it to be televised. That would be nice.
Well,
mean-
you got to talk to the NHL and see if they'll help.
Yeah.
Hopefully in the future there'll be something settled. We can get these games on, expand the NHL or hockey on NBC and get these women the right, because people want to watch that. People do want to watch that. There's a lot more skill and talent that goes into their gameplay. That
I miss the days when it was on ESPN or ABC. I miss those days.
ESPN hasn't really done hockey any justice.
Yeah.
They stopped doing it on ESPN since the lockout of 05.
Well, yeah, now it's on ESPN Plus. You got to pay extra.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still do it because it's
The Minnesota
$5.
Whitecaps Riveters game was 5-1, and then it was 2-1 for the Isabel Cup win. I could go on you had asked me about rants. I could go on a rant about the whole situation with the Whitecaps and the Riveters, because there was some travel delays, and then there was a bunch of players that ended up not being able to go. So the 5-1 win, I kind of stinky about it because a lot of their players weren't there. So
And this
I'll
is
leave
being
that
non-bi-
because of time's sake. I'll leave that.
Go on,
somewhere
go
else. No, I'll
This is
leave that.
being
around.
non-biased as a Riveters fan.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't work for them, so
It all works out. It all works out in the end.
It's true.
right. Yeah. I mean, it is what it is.
We'll see where things go next season. I'm actually excited to see the
some
growth.
learning. There should be some learning from this
Yeah.
and some growth. And
I
as
hope
is
so.
all
I hope
things.
they have a better backup plan.
I mean, if you took a look at the NHL's early years, they were fraught with stuff like that, with entire teams folding because of players not
Yeah.
being able to go places.
Well, okay,
Toronto,
okay.
St. Pat's.
So the Riveters,
Rubber.
unequally, maybe that's not the word I'm looking for, but they were asked to take off a day from their jobs disproportionately from other teams this year. Just I understand there's a whole weather thing and you can't do a lot about that, but they had games on Friday. They had games on, people had to leave work for travel and stuff like that, and then they were asked to not go to work again the following week because they had to travel to get back to Minnesota. I don't like the fact that most of their teams are on the Northeast and then they threw in Minnesota, because that really just bothers me as far as like traveling goes. But
Well, what if they added a team like kind of in the middle, like Detroit?
I mean, but still, I mean, they don't have private planes, because
Yeah, true.
the men's team, they get on a private plane, they go. These women are on commercial airlines, and
We all know how
if they
that,
get canceled,
that
you
gets.
get canceled, because the Ribs they had to go the next day, and then they got stuck in Charlotte and got turned back around, and they ended up having to cancel and postpone, and it was a mess. I'll leave it alone, but it was just
That sounds awful.
it was awful, and then it's like, how do you keep your professional 9-to-5 job when you're constantly asking them to take off in less than a week's notice because you got to postpone a game? It's not right. And I said I wasn't going to rant, but
It's all right. It's all right. Ranting's healthy.
Amanda's rant is brought to you by the NWHL.
I wish it was brought to you by, I'd have a lot more to say.
But hey, it was a good season. It wrapped it up. It wrapped it up in a nice little bow. Now it's time for them to grow as a fan base.
Right. And they take this real offseason to really take real measures. We'll see how it goes.
But that's not the only thing Amanda has to say for announcement 6. We got
Ooh.
a big one going on. What's going on, Amanda?
Well, let's see. We've got a few. As you remember from last episode, we had Michelle Bench on from the Trailblazers.
Yeah, she's a nice person.
Yeah, that was great.
I haven't made it up to a game because I've been busy, but our buddy over at Hockey in North Carolina has literally been out there almost every week. So
Yeah, I love that he's going. That's so great. Thank you for
Shout
your
out.
support. But they have been invited because Tuesday night is the Canes women's hockey night. hockey is for everyone women's hockey night, and they've been invited to do a shootout, and I believe it's the second intermission.
It's one of the intermissions, but still, the fact that that's
is
happening.
Fantastic.
Tell us the story of how that even came to be.
Well, I don't know everything, but Jonathan Boggs from the Canes, and I know you're listening. Hi, Jonathan. He
love you. I miss you, Boggsy.
He and I talked, and he talked to Shane, and and then he contacted me for Michelle's information, and it just kind of rolled from there. I don't want to toot our own horn and say that it was because of us, but it may be. I don't know. We might have had a big influence on that, but
hey, Revolution Rampage makes we're at least making a partial difference. We're promoting people, and they're getting out there, and that's what we need to do.
I'm so happy for these women. I think that's fantastic, and it'll bring a lot more attention to them that they absolutely deserve.
Anybody planning going to that game?
Oh, I'm going.
We'll see.
Well, it is a Tuesday. At least we will have. Kids are tracked out, so
at least we will have one member. At least we will have one member there, so the Trailblazers will know that we are. I want to hold up a
Redvolution Rampage sign. We love you.
just do it. Get your daughters to make it. Omar,
Revolution Rampage.
Make sure you send them the
Trailblazers,
correct picture.
They just have to write the words.
I'm so happy.
Put our Twitter handle on it too.
There you go.
It's a huge advertisement. All right.
Okay, so the other announcement I have, Wednesday night,
Wednesday,
Raleigh PD versus the Raleigh Fire Department are going to be playing at PNC, and all of the proceeds will go to help out Officer Ainsworth and his family, who is still fighting and still recovering, and it's going to be a huge event, and we really should.
I'm not going to ask who you're rooting for because we kind of figure who you are.
Gotta go for the home team,
For those who don't know, somebody over here has a huge.
Where are you going with this?
Where are you going with this?
I would say you have a huge leaning towards the Raleigh Police Department.
Well, I do work for them, and I think if I rooted for the other team, I might get in trouble. But
she might not work for them.
Right?
Oh no!
But
get our girl fired. Stop what you're doing.
No.
It's a great cause. It should be a lot of fun. There's gonna
winner
be raffles.
Takes on the Fort Bragg hockey team.
Prizes. There's going to be just come out. All of the proceeds are going to this officer, and it's going to be great. So please.
And they have a bunch of giveaways and stuff going on too.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be a great night.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
I'm trying to go. I might have to bum a ride from Amanda because
That's fine.
But we'll see how things go.
I mean, you're just giving everyone too much information at this point.
Don't worry. You'll at least see one of us here.
Yeah,
you'll at least see one of us there for those two games, maybe two.
I'll try to make the back-to-back this weekend for Minnesota and Montreal.
You'll see at least some of us, and we'll say, hey, we're there. Come say hi. Yeah. Come say hi to us. We aren't shy to talking to people. We actually prefer people coming up to us and saying, hey, we listen to your podcast, or we follow you on Twitter.
I love it. I think
get a lot of people who come and say, wait, you're that one guy off of Yep.
Yeah.
That's Omar. That's the guy who got famous on Facebook because the Canes put him in a ad.
Yeah, because I was cussing at the ref. Anyways.
So my last announcement, our friend Alyssa Gallardi, who plays for the Boston Pride in the NWHL, comes home because she's from here. She comes home and does these girls' clinics, workshops, camps, whatever the name is. But are great. It's ag2hockey.com, but she's hosting one April 13th and 14th for 12 and up. And then on the 14th, she's doing an 11 and under. And this year, Jillian Dempsey, who's the captain of the Boston Pride, is also going to be joining. And Colleen Murphy, who also is from here, but she plays for the Connecticut Whales, she's going to be there too. I mean, it's really, really neat to have something like that in North Carolina. So that should be a good deal. Check out the website and get your little girl enrolled. It's a lot of fun. My girl goes to every single one.
Awesome.
Dang, there's so much happening.
So much good hockey in the state.
My brain's not going to hold the excitement until like what, April 6th, until we find out we're in the playoffs?
7th. Well, we'll find out earlier than that.
Either way, the excitement in multiple facets in hockey in North Carolina is getting pretty high.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
right now we are confirmed to have at least 3 professional hockey teams in North Carolina in the playoffs. If we get the 4th and they're all in the playoffs at the same time, oh, it's gonna be a fun few weeks.
Well, not only that, like the ECHL,
Florida Everblades,
yeah, they're going to the playoffs too.
hunt for the Kelly Cup.
Yep. All right. That's for Revolution Rampage. Don't forget to subscribe to wherever you listen to this podcast, be it iTunes, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, YouTube. We are making some more YouTube videels.
Yeah, that
Look
would be
forward
on
to
me. That would be on me, the editor.
Well, you'll look forward to that. There should be some good stuff coming up. What else we got?
I was trying to think if there's something else.
Oh,
What?
Twitter.
well, I'm saying we now have voicemail open.
Yeah.
Voicemail.
Yes, that means
Give
you
us
can
the
add
questions.
your voice to our podcast, right? And the way to do that is very simple. You just call us. 919-341-9036. 919-341-9036.
Wow, what an infomercial voice that
I
is.
know. Good job.
Hi, everybody. It's Billy Mays here with the ShamWow.
Why'd you run over his grave like that? But yeah, you can also use the hashtag #AskTheRampage on Twitter. We'll find your questions. We will and we'll add them to our podcast.
Yeah, come back and enjoy the, I would say, very entertaining ramblings of at least 3 to 4 people.
At least
I
one.
think we're entertaining, you know. Well,
We
you
all
know,
think we're entertaining.
my daughter, who one of okay, guys, I have 4 daughters, so let me just
Which
say-
one? Which
This
one?
is the one that's 20. Her name is Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
She told me that this podcast is the most fun she's had listening to something she doesn't care about. So I think that is a fantastic review, and I tried
like
to
it.
get her to write it somewhere, but you know she's not a hockey fan. She doesn't care about
Let's
sports.
just plaster that all over our social media.
I know. I love it. I
The
love
most
that.
fun you ever had about something you don't care about. Revolution Rampage.
That is the best.
We're
review.
gonna take on that message and challenge every other podcast. Be like, come at us.
All right, so we're getting close to a playoff spot. Keep listening. We're going to have some more episodes here soon. Keep your eye out for the YouTube channel. Again, YouTube channel, just YouTube, put in the search bar there, Redvolution Rampage. You should find us. You can also listen to these episodes on there. So, hey, the Stitcher and all that doesn't work on your work computer. You can find us on YouTube. And make sure you have your headphones in and so your boss doesn't see you listening to us.
I mean, we
hear
are
you.
pretty safe for work, but still.
Your boss would hear you,
Yeah.
not see.
I don't know. All right. This is Redvolution Rampage you were listening to. I'm Omar.
I'm Zach.
Amanda.
Great episode.
What'd you put in this drink, Omar?